One of the biggest new features in Super Mario Odyssey is the ability to capture enemies and use their powers to assist you. In this being the 6th 3D installment in the Mario series, this is a brand new feature being added and it's groundbreaking for the games. Never before have you been able to turn the tides like this, possess a bullet bill and use it to fly across a gap which Mario wouldn't normally be able to cross by himself. There are so many situations where being able to capture an enemy will be helpful in the game. And as we could tell by the Nintendo Trio's gameplay that was shown at E3 back in June, there are a large number of enemies that you'd be able to capture within the game. Almost every enemy is able to be captured by the player, which is why in this video I wanted to go over some ideas that I had for enemies that could be capturable in Super Mario Odyssey. Some enemies that are not confirmed to be in the game or to be capturable, but that I think could work very well, and give some of my ideas as to why they could work well. Before we get started, make sure you're subscribed and tick that bell icon so you do not miss the latest uploads about Super Mario Odyssey and other Mario games too. And with that being said, let's get started. The first enemy capture idea that I'm going to be talking about in this video, I'll be talking about the Bob-omb. This one may seem very self-explanatory, but I'm going to explain it anyways. The purpose of the Bob-omb in the Mario games is to blow things up. That's what the Bob-ombs are used for. You normally stomp on their heads, pick them up, and put them next to a wall that you want to blow up. Well, in Super Mario Odyssey, you could probably be able to capture the Bob-omb and then walk over to the wall that you want to blow up and then blow that obstruction out of the way. This will allow you to access many more areas within the game that you wouldn't be able to access without the use of this enemy, and it'll allow you to get some more moons. I just think the Bob-omb would be great to see as a capturable enemy in Super Mario Odyssey, and let me know if you agree with me down in the comment section below. Next up, I'll be talking about a notorious desert enemy within the Mario games, the Pokey. Considering that there is a desert themed world in Super Mario Odyssey, I wouldn't be surprised if the Pokeys would be included somewhere. And wherever the Pokey would be included, I would want them to be capturable in the game. Just think about how fun it would be to actually play as the Pokey in a Mario game. You could just trudge through the sand once you capture a Pokey, or you could take the top ball off of them and then roll around with it in the sand. Yes, I am talking about taking the head off of the Pokey. This would destroy the rest of the Pokey's body just like it does in the normal Mario games. Once you take out the head, the rest of the body falls down. This ball could be used to roll very fast, and it would be a new variant of the Jaxi. Only this time you won't be charged 30 coins to use the Pokey, and you could roll over any enemy that's in your way and be a fast travel method within the game. I don't know if this sounds far-fetched or not, but I really think that the Pokey would make a good capturable enemy in Mario Odyssey. Next, I'll be talking about the Rocky Wrench. These guys could definitely be threats in certain times within the Mario games, and they've appeared in their fair share of 2D and 3D Mario games alike. I think they would work really well in Super Mario Odyssey, maybe in an airship themed world, or wherever the Rocky Wrench would be placed within the games. You'd be able to capture them and then throw their wrenches. Maybe even pop out of the hole that they're hiding, and we'll actually see the Rocky Wrench run about throughout the Mario game. I think it would be very cool to see the Rocky Wrench run around, and I mean, hey, who wouldn't want to throw wrenches at other enemies in Mario games? Next up is the Thwomp, a classic enemy within the Mario games for just falling down on you. These guys tend to stay in one place, which is why I'm not too confident about them being a capturable enemy in the games. Then again, when you think about it, the Chain Chomp is capturable as well, and that thing is stuck to a chain. I suppose when you capture the Thwomp, you would be able to dictate when your Thwomp would crash down onto the floor. Perhaps the specific Thwomp would be placed above a bunch of brick blocks, and then you would be able to crash down and break them that Mario would not be able to, so you'd be able to access a different area in the game. I think that would be a very interesting concept, which is why I want the Thwomp to be capturable in Mario Odyssey. Along with the Thwomp, we have the Whomp. This would be a very similar concept, although you would be able to move around when you are the Whomp. Move around and slam yourself down onto the floor of the stage. Maybe you would even be able to leave a dent on the ground for a little bit of time, who knows. I think this would just be a great way to kill a bunch of enemies at once. Honestly, I just love the Whomp, and I think it should be a capturable enemy in Odyssey. Next, I have the Charging Chuck. These guys, unlike all the other enemies on this list, are technically confirmed to be in Mario Odyssey. In the map for Mario Odyssey that Nintendo shared on Twitter, it has been stated that the Charging Chucks will appear in the game. And when they do, I think they should definitely be capturable. Imagine running around and charging at things as a Charging Chuck. You may even be able to kick the footballs and throw the baseballs like you were in the original Super Mario World. Even if you are just allowed to charge at things, I think that would be really cool. A great way to knock down enemies and maybe even burst through walls. Again, a way to get to areas that you wouldn't normally be able to get to. This is one of the core concepts of capturable enemies. What's the point of capturing an enemy if it doesn't help you out in the game in some way? I definitely feel that the Charging Chucks, if capturable in the Mario games, would be a great idea. It would be able to help you solve puzzles and be a great way to knock out all those pesky enemies. Next, I'll be talking about the Shy Guy, more specifically the Fly Guy. Shy Guys themselves tend to be rather basic enemies. They are characters with a lot of charm, but the Fly Guys actually have a little bit more depth to them. If you couldn't already tell by their name and design, the Fly Guys can fly. Well, in Mario Odyssey, it's already confirmed that you can capture a bullet build to fly for a certain amount of time. Those guys will explode and really only tend to go straight. If you want some height in Mario Odyssey, your best bet would be to choose the Fly Guy. Good luck capturing them because they'll be flying all about within the stages in Mario Odyssey, but if you do manage to get your hands on one, you would be able to fly high into the air with them to reach the top of the building in, say, New Donk City, or the top of a mountain in another stage. I think it would be a nice contrast to have one enemy that flies straight and one enemy that flies higher into the air. This provides more of the elements of choice, which would be very helpful to have in this game. Super Mario Odyssey seems to be the type of game that's embracing freedom to the player, and I think that including another enemy that could fly into the air that's capturable would really further embrace this concept. The last enemy that I'll be talking about today that is a capture idea that I have is the Blooper. These guys are very classic underwater enemies seen in a ton of Mario games, and I think that if made capturable, it would be a nice way to travel underwater without your character dying. See, in a similar way to games like Super Mario 64, Mario could only be underwater for a certain amount of time in Odyssey. However, if you were able to capture the Blooper, you would be able to stay underwater for an unlimited amount of time because the Bloopers live underwater. This would be great for certain worlds that require you to get certain moons underwater. I think that a capturable enemy underwater would be a really great idea, and I really hope that it's included in Mario Odyssey. But those are just some ideas that I have. Be sure to let me know what ideas you have in the comment section below. Be sure to leave a big thumbs up if you enjoyed. It really helps out a lot, and be sure to check out one of the videos that I have on screen right now. I really think that they will be suitable for you and that you'll enjoy them. See you guys next time.